Hi guys, in this video we're going to add on to the last video's game and use the concept of variables to make a score in our game. This time, instead of directly opening up your Scratch editor, we need to open up the document that has our game in it. Okay, so this is the game that we were making last time. Now we're going to have a score up here that tells the user how many times Giga has ate an apple. To do that, we need to use something called a variable. A variable is a value that changes. For example, for the score is a variable because it starts out at 0, the value is at 0, but then it goes up. The variable changes as the game goes on. So let's make a variable by going to Data and clicking Make a Variable. Name the variable Score and click All for all sprites. Okay. With the variables in Scratch, you can double click on it to change the look of it. We don't want to use this because then the user can cheat by setting their score to whatever. So if I were you, I would either use this one or this one. And you can also move the score variable around. I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so what we have to do is in the beginning, for variables, there are 4 blocks that you can use. You can show the variable, you can hide the variable, you can change the value of the variable by 1, by -1, and you can directly set it. In the beginning of the game, we don't want it to be like 50 or something. We want it to be 0, so we're going to set it to 0 in the beginning of the game. When do we want to change the score by 1? We want the score to go up by 1 every time Giga eats an apple. So let's find the place where the apple is being eaten. It's not anywhere here, so let's check the apple. Boom, right there. If touching Giga walking, then play sound chomp, hide, wait 0.5 seconds, go to a random position, and show. So this is the area where Giga has eaten an apple. So let's put the change score by 1 in here. Now let's start the game. Okay. So I ate the apple. Now we can always know what the score is. And if we start the game again, it resets back to 0. Okay. So that's basically what a variable is. Variables can be anything. It can be like a word, it could be a sentence, but usually it's going to be numbers because you can change the number based on the game going on. Okay, so what we're going to do with this score is we're going to make it so that when the score is 10, the user wins. And we're going to say win, meaning there's going to be like a screen that says win. So let's first create that screen. So let's go to stage and create a new backdrop. And this one we're going to paint by hand. Convert it to vector because we're always going to be using vector. So get a rectangle out that covers the whole screen. And make sure you can't see the outline. Okay, so you can fill it with whatever color you want. I'm going to fill it, since it's a UN sign, I'm going to fill it with the light green. You can just do that, or you can try to use a gradient. To use a gradient, you have to click on this button to get the other side of the gradient. Once you find one that you like, that looks cool, then we can move on to the text. So we're going to have a sign that says "You win," right? And we're going to probably use just black. You could choose a different color, but I usually like to keep all the text in black. Unless, of course, it's like on yellow. Then you could do whatever. But if it's on a UN sign and the background's like greenish, it's a little darker, I think black is usually the best choice. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to make it way bigger and just get right in their faces and make it so that they won. And we're actually going to make it so that this is in a different text font. There are 6 different fonts in Scratch. You can choose which one you want. I'm going to use the Scratch font, but you can choose whichever font you like. If you do not like any of these fonts, and you're like me, like, I don't think any of these fonts are very good other than this one. This one, I think, is pretty good. But if you do not like any of them, then go to drawings.google.com. And this is one of the ways to get a different font in. So you must have a Google account to do this, but basically, just put the same thing you want in there. You win. Except you can change it to whichever font you want. And I'm going to use this one, Russell 1. And make sure to make it pretty big. There's a bunch of cool fonts in here. I personally like this one and another one called Poriate 1. I like that one. I like Orbitron. And I also like this one, Patois 1. But in this case, I'm just going to use this. Try to make it so that you only have your text by using the bottom piece right here. So put it as high up as you can. And then you can just use this to make it just have the UN sign. Now click download as SVG file. Okay, now that we have that, we can go to Scratch. We can say import. And all we need to do is we need to find this. Now we have the UN sign, and it looks way better. In fact, I accidentally put this into a different sprite, so let's delete it and go back in here and import it this way. We'll delete this text. And sometimes this happens, which can get pretty annoying. So that if that happens to you, like it did to me, then I guess you could just import it as a different sprite, and it's basically the same thing. So now we have a you win sign right there. Maybe we could have some sort of graphic, like a thumbs up sign. So click add, and see. Or wait, no, these are a bunch of backgrounds. We don't want a background. Maybe we'll get a thumbs up sign. So let's go onto the internet and make sure that the graphic you use is free to use. The thumbs up emoji, free. Okay, so there's a bunch of this here, but remember to also add in the keyword transparent. That way, there's no white background. So let's click save image as, boom, go to scratch, click import, let's find where it is. I think it was in random, unnamed. Okay, we're gonna just make that a little smaller. Down there a little. Okay, now we've got a pretty neat UN sign, except it's just in the beginning of the game there, and Apple are playing with the UN sign up. That doesn't make that much sense, right? So we're going to use our if block to decide when to make the UN sign pop up. So in the beginning, we do not want the UN sign to come up. So we're going to switch the background to this background, which is raise. And we also don't want the UN part to show up. So let's go to when green flag clicked, and we're going to hide this. So now our game is back to normal, right? Not exactly. Yeah, okay. But now we need to make sure that both of them show up when the score is equal to 10. So we're going to make a forever loop, and we're going to check, is the score equal to 10? Is the score equal to 10? If the score is equal to 10, then now we're going to use another new type of block called broadcasting. Broadcasting is there's 3 different broadcasting blocks. Each of these blocks are almost the same, and they're all connected together. What a broadcast is a broadcast basically sends a message out to every single sprite and stage. So I could broadcast a message and click this and make a new message called game is over. Click OK. Now, when the score is equal to 10, everyone receives a message that the game is over. So what this does is, if I can change this to when game is over, now it says when I receive game is over, do something. So yeah, I could put whatever I want after when I receive game over, and this block is available in every single thing. So when the broadcast game is over is thrown to every single sprite and stage, when it receives it, it can do something. Now the difference between this one and that one is kind of like the play sound pop and play sound pop until done. Thing is that this one starts the broadcast and keeps on going. This one starts the broadcast and waits until all the when I receive game overs are done. So in this case, think about it. Which one should we use? Pause the video. Okay, now that you've unpaused the video, the answer is this one. because we do not want it to keep saying the score is equal to 10, because what's going to happen if we have this? We're going to say the score is equal to 10, it's going to broadcast game is over, and then it's going to come back up to the top, and it's going to check, is the score equal to 10? Yes, because the computer executes things at the speed of light. The score is still 10. Broadcast it again, so it's going to keep broadcasting game over, and it won't get any time to finish the stuff that we're going to have in here. So let's change this to game over and put that in there. Now, what do we want this sprite to do when the game is over? Really, all it has to do is just show up. Another thing that we could tell it to do is we could tell it to go. So let's show it. We could tell it to go right here. And that is actually that XY coordinate is shown right here. So -6, -10. So I'm going to change it to -6. Okay. Now, when the game is over, it's going to show up. And we want the background to change as well. So let's click on when I receive game over, change the background to backdrop 2. Okay, let's try it out. Now we got the UN sign out, but the game's still going. Which doesn't make any sense, right? Because once the UN sign comes up, we want everything to stop. To do that, we have to use a new block in control called stop all. This stops everything in the game. Now, if I do this, and I'm just going to change this to 1 so we don't have to do 10 times. If I do this, then everything stops. But giga is still there, and we don't want giga to be showing up in the UN sign. Let's go to giga and pull out when I receive game is over, hide. So let's just start this game. Okay, it's hidden. Let's play it again. The thing is that we hit it in the game before, so we have to show it again in the beginning. So let's start this game over again. It works. Well, there's a bug. Thing is that we still have it as a score of 10, and the apple isn't getting enough time to move. Say I'll get to 10. What? Okay, so now what happens is it starts out with 1 point. The reason why is because the apple never gets time to move in the beginning. So we want to make it go to a random position in the beginning itself. That way, giga is not on top of the apple in the beginning. So now, as you see, the apple starts in a new place every time. So there you have it. That's going to be the end of this Eat the Apple Giga game. In the next video, we're going to be making our second game from beginning to end. I hope to see you there. Thank you for watching this video.